Jamie Farr is an American television, film, and theater actor. He is best known for having played the role of cross-dressing Corporal Maxwell Q. Klinger in the CBS television sitcom MASH. Early life: Farr was born in Toledo, Ohio, to Lebanese-American parents Jameel M., a seamstress, and Samuel N. Farah, a grocer. He and his family attended St. George Antiochian Orthodox Church in Toledo. This church is under the Antiochian Orthodox Christian Archdiocese of North America. This diocese in turn is part of the ancient Christian Holy See known as the Greek Orthodox Patriarchate of Antioch and all the East, which is in communion with all the Orthodox churches of the world, not the Catholic Church. Farr unregistered trademark's first acting success occurred at age 11, when he won $2 in a local acting contest. After Woodward High School, where he was one of the standouts among his class, Farr attended the Pasadena Playhouse where a Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer talent scout discovered him, offering him a screen test for Blackboard Jungle. He won the role of the mentally challenged student, Santini. With the encouragement of his Toledo mentor, Danny Thomas, he decided to become an actor. Career: Farr unregistered trademark's first film roles were in 1955 in Blackboard Jungle and as a fruit vendor in Kismet. After this, he joined the United States Army for 2 years, with service in Japan and Korea. Although Farr was off to a promising start, roles were infrequent for the young actor, and he was cast as a delivery person, a post office clerk, an Army surplus store clerk, an airline's reservations agent, and as an employee at a chinchilla ranch, all in all not very crediting roles. In 1958, Warner Brothers cast him as an airman in the Andy Griffith military comedy No Time for Sergeants, which also brought the young TV comic Don Knotts to motion pictures. Farr appeared as Thaddeus in the 1965 film The Greatest Story Ever Told, along with minor roles in unregistered trademark's Minding the Mint and with 6 You Get Egg Roll. Farr began to carve out his niche in television when, in the late 1950s, he became a regular on The Red Skelton Show before becoming a second banana with Harvey Korman on The Danny Kaye Show. Farr also appeared on The Dick Van Dyke Show and was a regular on the gangster comedy series The Chicago Teddy Bears. Farr also worked in TV commercials, including a memorable spot for Wonder Bread. He was hired for one day unregistered trademark's work as a OE Corporal Klinger on the MASH episode OE Chief Surgeon Who? His character wore dresses to try to convince the army that he was crazy and he deserved a Section 8 discharge. Comedy writer and playwright Larry Gelbart has said that comedian Lenny Bruce unregistered trademark's attempt to be released from military service in World War II by dressing in a Waves uniform was the original inspiration for the character of Klinger on the sitcom. He was asked back for a dozen episodes in the second season and he became a regular in the third. Eventually, his character gave up wearing women unregistered trademark's clothing. Like most of the characters on MASH, Corporal Klinger matured as the years passed. He gradually progressed from being a cross-dressing visual joke, and became a more sensitive and resourceful character. His favorite episodes are Officer of the Day, and Big Mac. Farr and co-stars Harry Morgan and William Christopher spent 2 years starring in After MASH, the sequel that explored how civilian life treated their characters. While working on MASH, Farr also appeared in Cannonball Run and Cannonball Run 2. Farr appeared as a panelist on several game shows, including The $25,000 Pyramid, Super Password, The Gong Show, Body Language, Match Game Hollywood Squares Hour, Wordplay, The $1.98 Beauty Show, The Magnificent Marble Machine, Tattletales and others. He appeared in several made-for-TV movies, such as Murder Can Hurt You, Return of the Rebels, and For Love or Money. He also guest-starred in Kolchak, The Night Stalker. Farr endorsed the U.S. Mars Bar in commercials during the 1980s and received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1985. He was a regular judge, with Art Johnson and J.P. Morgan, on The Gong Show. In the 1990s, Farr played the role of Nathan Detroit in a Broadway revival of Guys and Dolls. Farr is still active in regional theater and guest stars occasionally on TV series. Since 1984, He has hosted an annual women's professional golf tournament on the LPGA Tour, the Jamie Farr Toledo Classic, presented by Kroger, Owens Corning and OI in Sylvania, Ohio. The tournament has raised over $6.5 million for local children's charities. On Memorial Day 2007, Farr hosted a multi-episode presentation of MASH on the Hallmark Channel. The featured episodes showcased Farr's performances on the show, with Farr providing commentary during the commercial breaks. Farr, Chuck Woolery, and Bob Eubanks were rotating hosts of the $250,000 game show Spectacular at the Las Vegas Hilton until the show ended in April 2008. On July 17, 2008, Farr and Anita Gillette opened Flamingo Court, a 3-act play at the New World Theatres in New York City. Farr hosts a daily radio travel feature called Travel in Farr. Personal life. Farr's autobiography is titled Just for Fun. After his role in the 1955 film Blackboard Jungle, he entered the United States Army for 2 years, serving overseas in Japan and Korea. His service in Korea was after the hostilities had ended. In his MASH role as Max Klinger, he can be seen wearing his actual issued set of U.S. Army dog tags. The park where Farr used to hang out when he was younger was renamed Jamie Farr Park in his honor on July 5, 1998. About the park, he said, "I wanted to be an actor, a famous actor, and I wanted my hometown of Toledo, Ohio, to be proud of me." Farr spoke to about 400 admirers and was quoted in the New York Post, "Jamie Farr Park is certainly a highlight of my life and career." Further exemplifying Farr's love of Toledo was his frequent mention of Tony Packo's hot dogs, a Toledo staple, on MASH. He also was shown in 2 episodes as a Toledo Mud Hens fan. Since 2000, Farr has frequently donated to the Republican National Committee. Farr has been married to Joy Ann Richards since 1963 and has 2 children, Jonas and Yvonne. He has a grandson named Dorian. Since the early 1990s, Farr has battled severe rheumatoid arthritis. In 2003, Farr and his wife wrote a children's story called Habibi's Christmas Eve, which retells the first Christmas from the point of view of the animals. Other roles: Farr appeared in 2 episodes, as Theodore in Panic, and as Pooch, the ranch hand, in 2 weeks, of the ABC Western television series, The Rebel starring Nick Adams. Appeared in a first-season episode of I Dream of Jeannie. Played a restaurant delivery boy in 4 early episodes of The Dick Van Dyke Show. Made 2 appearances in the first season of F Troop, an uncredited role as a lackey of Geronimo in the episode Our Hero. What's His Name? And a credited role as Stand-Up Bull, a bumbling Native American stand-up comic, in the episode Too Many Cooks Spoil the Troop. An episode of Gummer Pile, USMC has Farr in a bit part as a special effects man. Episode Boot of Emergency. Had Farr as a patient who has a curse on him and couldn't move his right arm. Dr. Early was able to remove the curse. Played a gypsy named Gracchus in an episode of The Andy Griffith Show titled The Gypsies. Starred in 2 episodes of The Rifleman, the first time under his own name and the second under his adopted name. Guest appearance on The Love Boat. Guest appearance on That 70s Show on the season 5 episode The Girl I Love. Attended the Miracle on Ice 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey defeat of the Soviet Union. Hosted the Unsold game shows Pilots Oddball, Double Up, and Surprise, Surprise, and guest hosted Wordplay for a Week in summer 1987. In the 1988 movie Scrooged had a cameo as himself, acting in a movie directed by Bill Murray's character. Played himself in the Family Guy episode Believe It or Not, Joe's walking on air as a video instructor for leg surgery. Appeared in Diagnosis Murder episode Drill for Death along with several other actors from the movie and TV versions of MASH. Substituted in 2004 for the ailing Frank Gorshin starring as George Burns in the national tour of the one-man show Say Goodnight, Gracie. Appeared in Lend Me a Tenor at the New Theater, a dinner theater in Overland Park, Kansas, where he has starred in several plays the last several years. Farr was cast in The Last Romance at Theatre Aquarius in Hamilton, Ontario, in February 2013. He previously appeared at Theatre Aquarius in Tuesdays with Morrie. Played a police officer in The Flying Nun. SO2E23, 1967. References. External links: Jameel Farr at the Internet Movie Database, Jameel Farr at the Internet Broadway Database, Jameel Farr at the Internet Off-Broadway Database, Jameel Farr official site, Jameel Farr interview video with the Archive of American Television.